excellent blender. Men do these things, but you can make it up to her with a beautiful piece of jewelry from Hopman Jewelers. Think of us as headquarters for taking your disaster.
All right, there we go. That should be fixed.
Master of love and
Oy vey.
your problem might be
I don't know what's happening. I have no idea.
And you know she
It's been
would
chaos.
really love something new and different. Bingo. Hopman Jewelers staff are wizards at transforming her jewelry into something new and beautiful. Like I said, we at Hopman Jewelers love to solve problems. So you've got a problem? No problem. Just come and see us at Hopman Jewelers in beautiful downtown Elkhart.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter.
They are trying to
at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I don't know what the hell is going on right now. I'm like dark too.
Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the Final Phase Electric Studios. From the first step to the final phase. Industrial and commercial electrical.
Notice time, by the way.
God dang, dude.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Press conference is finally over. And I just noticed a couple of people making an observation on Twitter that all of these reporters are passing around the same microphone. So I wonder if CNN, because Brian Stelter has been very critical of the president as of late, saying that the president is spreading the virus around because he keeps shaking people's hands. I wonder how many people will still interact with the news pool when those reporters come back to the main office. I wonder what will happen when all of that goes down. All right, so we're finally back on schedule. Again, news conference is over. It is open lines. You can call about this or anything else. We'll get your reaction to that. I have several other things that I was trying to get to talk to you about today, and we will see if that is going to actually take place. More coming up on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table in Niles. 26 years of exceptional food, tremendous service, and great people. Visit Prime Table today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists.
With mostly cloudy skies, and we do have a chance for maybe a light snow shower or two for very southern counties. For Sunday, though, we're back to partly cloudy skies, a high of 46 degrees. For that Monday forecast, on to mostly cloudy skies at that point with a chance for a few rain showers during the evening hours. Otherwise, it's back to that sunshine on Wednesday, and we'll hold on to some mild weather into the end of the
So, folks, you know what I think is happening with the radio station? So is the audio just low? Well, no, because I turned the audio down. Okay, so now it's loud. But what I think is the issue, is my cable. So my cable is, hold on a second. So this is this audio here. I'm going to go back to the station and let me know how the audio is with the station audio.
by a lot of different names these days. Industrial automation, Industry 4.0, and modernization. Are you ready to empower your shop floor? Are you ready to reduce production bottlenecks, eliminate human error, and reach for the full capacity of your business? Sounds like you're ready for comprehensive solutions made possible through the power of industrial automation. Bring your operation to the 21st century with real-time machine connectivity. Automate your systems, visualize your production line, get alerts from your equipment that can notify you when something is going haywire. Deploy resources to be the most efficient and avoid unwanted downtime. Look no further than Final Phase Electric. Take your team to the next level with real-time analytics and alerts from connected devices. Find out how you can reduce manual processes, increase production volume, and improve your business results. Unlock your business's potential with a call to Final Phase Electric at 574-522-4444. Find us on Facebook or visit finalphaseelectric.net today.
Hey everybody, join me, Casey Hendrickson, for a very special broadcast at Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill, Thursday, March 19th. So find a way to sneak over to watch me broadcast live from the newly renovated...
You're not going to hear me talk because that's just patching the station through to you guys.
We're going to be live from 3 till 6, but I'm going to be there a little bit early. So
I think my cable is broken.
Commercial breaks, get special pricing on food and drinks, show off those filled out brackets for bragging rights and your
Alright, so I just think that the radio station audio, which is getting fed from my auxiliary cable, I think the auxiliary cable broke. My dongle is loose, so I think it just busted. I said dongle. So this audio that you're hearing with me talking to you right now has nothing to do with that audio there from the radio station. That is simply coming from the camera.
And other great listeners. You can also see the full menu online at MontereyMexican.com.
Tax time is match time. Only at R&B Car Company. And that means you'll get $2,500 minimum for your trade-in, or we'll match your tax check up to $2,500. Over 600 vehicles to choose from, and new vehicles arriving daily. Come experience why we are where you ought to be. And take a test drive today. Tax time is match time, and it's happening now. Only at R&B Car Company in South Bend, Warsaw, and Columbia City. Where you'll get $2,500 minimum for your trade, or we'll match your tax check up to $2,500. Shop now and get pre-approved at RVCarCompany.com. 95.3 MNC, securing your financial future each and every Saturday morning with Wise Money with Corhorn Financial Group. Financial advisors Kevin Corhorn, Mike Bernard, and Josh Gregory are here to talk about the latest money news and how it affects your pocketbook, savings account, or retirement.
The Washington government.
From Wise Money with Corhorn Financial Group. Do you have the right financial skills as part of your skills stack? How do you acquire them and put them to use? That and more this Saturday. Listen Saturday at 9 on 95.
South Bend Community School Corporation is closed for the next 2 weeks.
Visit the skills section on your Alexa app or your smartphone.
Just broke.
Today's news, traffic and weather on 95.3 MNC.
All right, that was a little chaotic. So sorry about the weird formatics today, but trying to get the press conference out to you, trying to get the reporters' questions and the answers out to you. And I, frankly, the spokesperson for the GOP, she had a really good point. She goes, you have scientists, you have doctors, you have business and government leaders sitting there taking questions, and you keep asking the same superficial question over and over and over again. And she's 100% right. He had that one reporter where he stood up, he asked 2 very important questions, got a lot of answers there. And you notice he didn't talk to the politicians. He didn't care about them. He talked to Fauci and Birx, the doctors, so that way they could explain to him what was going on. Part of that was, when do we expect this virus to peak? Okay, which is a great question. Right now, based on your timeline, when do we expect this thing to peak? Fauci answered that question. And then, of course, they went into what was going to happen with the testing and any medical devices and things like that, should everything continue on. And they've also made it very clear, because one of the reporters had asked, when are we going to have enough tests? Will we have, when we have enough tests to test every American, next week? And we don't want everybody to be tested. You're going to overrun the system if you do that. If you're showing symptoms, then do it. So here's how the virus works. It starts off with a cold, a pretty mild cold. So you get a cold, then you get better, and then you get the flu, and then you get better, and then you get pneumonia. And the pneumonia is what is the dangerous part, just because pneumonia is always a dangerous part. Pneumonia is always a risk factor for older people. that's how this virus kind of works. There's like 3 stages. So you got a minor cold, then you'll feel better. And if you feel better now, after you have a little cold, don't go anywhere. Self-isolate, because there's a good chance that it's going to come back as the flu. And everybody that I've seen who has had the virus has pretty much said the same thing. I had a cold, thought I was getting better. Next thing you know, I had the flu, and then I thought I was getting better, and then boom, pneumonia hit me, just like that. So, again, vast majority of people are going to be recovering from this. Now, am I good until the bottom of the hour here, or do I have to take another break? I'm good. Okay, so finally back somewhat on schedule here. It is open lines, okay? I know it's been a little chaotic and a little hectic with the formatics today, but if you want to call 574-2595-953, I'll talk about anything you want. You are sick and tired. What's that? What?
Washington closing their schools for 6 weeks.
Oh, well, yeah, the state of Washington has it bad. Breaking news right now. South Bend Community School Corporation has shut down for the next 2 weeks. So that's breaking news. Just happened. We've heard rumors that it was going to happen. Figured it probably would. That is official now. The South Bend Community Schools are closing for 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. We'll all see exactly where that goes from there. But you can go ahead and check out all of those updates. Again, 953mnc.com/coronavirus, or text the word virus right now to 45364. And you'll get those updates on your phone. So you have the doctors there answering these questions. You got a bunch of reporters who, again, trying to assign blame, trying to have a bit of a freak out. A couple of them just asked some superficial questions. It just didn't make any sense. The one reporter from OAN, she said, hey, China's out there basically, blaming us for the coronavirus. For those of you who haven't seen that, yesterday, China said that the virus probably didn't come from Wuhan. And today they're saying the United States Army is responsible for it. And there's going to be some tinfoilers out there who buy into that. Without a doubt, they're going to buy into it. They're going to run around. They're going to spread it, in spite of the fact that they were warned that this virus could escape that lab back in 2017. And as far as I know, I'm the only person on Audible Media telling you that. But I did see that report from the World Health Organization, and I saw a couple of reporters kind of pick up on it in print, but I haven't really heard anybody else tell you that. And it's important that you understand all of that stuff. But the doctors all had really good answers, and Fauci once again was a little irritated because people are like, the system is messed up and Trump sucks. And he's like, look, you're taking me out of context when I testified. The system is set up and it works brilliantly for what it was set up to do. The system was not set up to handle this. And so we have to make adjustments now because we're dealing in the middle of this. And people have been politicizing his comments on that for a couple of days now, and he's been answering that question. He's a little irritated by it. You could tell he's irritated by it. And he addressed it sternly and curtly, and then he stormed off away from the microphone because he's just tired of answering that question over and over again as people are politicizing this stuff instead of trying to come together and making sure that people who need help get help. And ultimately, I posted a meme yesterday. Here's how you stop the spread of this thing. If you feel sick, you self-isolate, you stay home. You wash your hands frequently, and then you get better. Okay, that's generally how it works. What's happening is people are running out there and buying all of the toilet paper, and they're buying up all of these supplies. They're buying up water. I got news for you. The water in your tap is still going to work. Okay, if you get the virus, you will have water. It's just amazing watching how people are panicking. And it doesn't help when you have PBS NewsHour on there. You said you're not responsible, but you're the one that got rid of the pandemic task force. Lady, get out of here. It's, stop spreading stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the response anyway. He was still way ahead of Democrats, and he was way ahead of a lot of the world on this thing. And he was accused of panicking when he was out ahead of this thing before anybody else was. Kathy, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hi, I've got a really quick question,
Yeah.
and I think you're a very smart person. You probably have an answer.
Uh-oh.
I heard today at work, and I hope it was just gossip, because I would not want anything to be wrong with President Trump. But somebody mentioned that he looked very worn, and that he had some type of a breathing apparatus on him the other night on one of the things that he was doing, the information thing, and that he was very like pasty looking. have you heard anything about him being ill or any sickness at all?
No, I haven't.
I hope not. I love that man.
Now, some people did notice that he seemed like he was short of breath in the press conference. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And some people did notice that. He does look tired to me. He sounds tired to me. And he's probably been awake for several days dealing with this. He's been in a lot of meetings.
Okay.
And you have to understand, he's also, in the midst of all of this, since the press isn't telling everybody, he's gotten the insurance companies to drop the copays and the cost of treatment on this thing. He's got several executive orders. He's got the national emergency that has been declared. He's dealing with Congress on this aid package that Nancy Pelosi tried to put this stupid pork into instead of just doing what's best for the country and actually getting people healthy. So he's dealing with a lot. I have no doubt the man's tired. I have no doubt, but there is zero information that he is sick whatsoever. If he were sick, he wouldn't be out there in the Rose Garden with several dozen
he might
people.
Be. He's a pretty strong-willed man.
The doctors wouldn't let it. No, the doctors wouldn't let it. There's no way.
Okay.
There's
You're
absolutely no way.
Right.
There's no way the doctors would allow him to go out there and do that. I mean, he doesn't hate the media that much, for crying out loud, but
right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. All right. I got to run. I'm out of time. Okay. Take care, Kathy.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Open lines next. 95.3 MNC.
WTRC FM.
And HD1 and HD3.
Niles, South Bend, Elkhart.
Breathing apparatus. What?
Your top stories right now. This is Fox News Alerts. A national emergency over a global pandemic. I'm Lisa Brady.
Well, okay, so I found something in 2019 where they put together a supercut of his heavy breathing in January of 2019, saying he's struggling to breathe. So this is once again an example of them recycling an old conspiracy theory to attack him.
Including Walmart, CVS, in a public-private partnership with testing labs.
I understand that a lot of this behind-the-scenes action over the last couple of weeks was invisible to the press and the American people. But this intense effort has not only resulted in innovative solutions, but an automated, high-throughput system bringing the availability of these quality coronavirus testing to the American people at unprecedented speed.
That's the coronavirus response coordinator, Deborah Birx. The president also considering changes in the temporary travel ban on Europe as numbers change, rising, for instance, in the UK, which is currently exempt from that ban. And the president shutting down one question about having disbanded the White House Office on Pandemics, saying he didn't know anything about that.
But we've done a great job because we acted quickly, we acted early. And there's nothing we could have done that was better than closing our borders to highly infected areas.
The president also says he will most likely have a coronavirus test.
I had
contact with aide to the Brazilian president during meetings Mar-a-Lago
was a
last
light.
weekend. The Brazilian leader is testing negative, but the aide has the virus. Big jump on Wall Street as the president was outlining new initiatives. The Dow up nearly 2,000 points, back over 23K, a record one-day point gain, the day after a record drop. The president announcing he'll help the energy markets by adding to the strategic petroleum reserve. America is
Like a little friggin' USB light.
This is Michiana's breaking news at Weather Station. News Talk 95.3.
No, I didn't.
Channel and 95.3 MNC.com. I'm Tommy.
I knew I had the damn thing. I mean, it's just a tiny little friggin' light, but it's like, it's bright. God dang.
This was the first community conversation on the way to a decision to not pursue criminal
So this should hopefully.
South Bend officer Ryan O'Neill in the shooting death of Eric Logan. The meeting started with messages of support from city officials to Logan's family, including an opening statement.
Not really. Guess it's not bright enough. It's good for a phone, but I guess it's not going to do much for this. Oh well. It's worth a try.
Found to exonerate O'Neill of any wrongdoing. The mayor says he's working on a special request to make these findings public, but made no guarantee that he could get it released. Darren Wright, MNC News.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association has postponed the state's boys basketball regional tournaments. Commissioner Bobby Cox made the announcement this afternoon.
With the number of schools now taking extended breaks from school, it's impossible to complete the tournament series as originally scheduled. Therefore, the IHSA boys basketball tournament series is postponed immediately.
However, tomorrow's girls gymnastics state finals in Muncie will continue as scheduled with no spectators in attendance. And Louisiana has become the first state to postpone their primary election due to coronavirus concerns. It had been scheduled for April 4th. You can find the latest coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly everybody is pro homeschooling. That's been interesting to watch.
Served up by the Prime Table in Niles. Tuesday is St. Patrick's and MNC Day. Join Casey for breakfast, and later he broadcasts live from 3 to 6 Tuesday afternoon. Famous corned beef and cabbage. Dine in or carry out.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, first warning forecast.
Plenty of sunshine today with a high of 46 degrees and a little bit breezy as well. For tonight, we drop down to a low of 28. For Saturday, we'll only top out about 40 degrees with mostly cloudy skies in our forecast. We see a chance for our southern counties.
What? So they kept Raisa School open in Michigan?
Just ask your smart speaker for us.
Oh, God. What the hell?
Google Home and smart speakers everywhere. From Newstalk 95.3.
So why are in Michigan, why is it that the governor has closed all K through 12 schools in Michigan, but left the school system open that has special needs students?
Recent gifts or family heirlooms need adjusted, modified, personalization. Where other jewelry stores only dream of staffing a goldsmith, Impress Jewelry Creation employs 4 full-time. That means your work gets done in-house.
What is that
You don't
about?
have to ship out your keepsakes, and the quality is substantially better. IJC's unique approach and dedication to fine jewelry is unparalleled. The team has over 100 years of experience, and the store itself was built to create truly remarkable jewelry. From bench work to techniques that have been refined and mastered for thousands of years, to modern laser and temperature control cutting, the service can be all done with great care and quality right here locally. If you're looking to commemorate or celebrate a special occasion, IJC helps you connect the importance of the occasion, work in a treasured part of your past, or start your own story and create a unique
Jersey dropped the charges?
Impress Jewelry Creations, conveniently located in City Plaza next to Temper Grill, or find them online at
I have been editing all day, and I had a doctor's appointment, so.
Annual sale. Save up to 45% on Dell computers and servers with Intel Core processors.
Good.
It's
I'm
time
glad
for
they
you to
dropped the
upgrade
charges
to
against him.
modern
He never should have been charged to begin with.
Also, save on electronics and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with
That's
Dell
good.
Business
Thank you for the
Credit.
tip.
Call 877-BUY-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find just the right tech. That's 877-BUY-DELL or visit Dell.com/business-deals.
This is what flow
Well, that's just it. Special needs should be, I mean, they're considered risk, so I don't understand.
And did you know that saying hi makes even bad news sound good? Hi, you have high cholesterol. Hi, you're fine.
And this is what that same commercial sounds like on your motorcycle.
Hi, there's no more
Yeah, even our commercials sound better on a bike. And with basic policy starting at $75 a year, Progressive helps keep you on yours.
Everything is a mess. Everything is a mess.
Rating for basic liability policy not available in all states.
From the Final Phase Electric Studios.
From the first step to the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. This is Casey Hendrickson on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. And once again, do want to remind everybody that you can watch the live stream, youtube.com/Casey the host or twitch.tv/Casey the host. We're also taking your phone calls. It's open lines. You can talk about anything you want. I know we had the press conference today. Because the press conference was extra long, doing our best to go ahead and catch up on our commercial obligations as well as our news breaks, as well as getting you the content. And so we kind of bounced around a little bit there. But we're all settled back into normal formatics for this hour, so it is open lines. If you want to talk about anything, whether it has to do with the press conference and the virus, or if it has to do with something entirely different, we will take those phone calls now at 574-2595-953. That is 2595-953. South Bend School Corporation is going to be closed for at least 2 weeks. That is effective March 17th, I think is what they said. Then Governor Gretchen Whitmer closed all K-12 school buildings through April 5th, but I did have some Michigan people send me the text message and said that the RESA schools, RESA, those are the special needs schools, that they're still open. That's interesting. So you got the diocese also closing all 43 of their schools across 14 counties. They're going to be setting up e-learning. So, again, I would be in close contact School City of Mishawaka closed their buildings. Will use an altered student schedule from March 16th to March 27th. Penn Harris obviously closed. LaPorte making changes. All of this information is available at 953mnc.com/coronavirus. You can also text the word virus right now to 45364. We'll continue to give you those updates on what is developing with the coronavirus here in our community. All right, to the phone lines we go. Justin, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, Casey. First off, just thank you for all you do. I'm a long-time listener. Well, a couple months listener and a first-time caller.
All right,
So
thank you.
Appreciate what you do. I went to school at Grace College in Winona Lake, and they just closed their doors for a couple weeks.
Okay.
And I'm a sports media major, so I graduated with my degree in sports.
Okay.
So I want to talk about all the sports closings. So the NBA, they closed their doors.
Mm-hmm.
A little disappointed with that, obviously. Do you know the last time the NBA shut their doors for a health reason?
It was the 1980s, wasn't it?
1996.
96.
When,
I thought it might have been the 84 thing, but
96.
okay.
5 players stopped. They just couldn't play anymore. They had all their ability sucked out of them, and then Michael Jordan went missing. Crazy times.
Uh-huh.
Crazy times.
Yeah, crazy times, man. Get out of here. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. We have Richard. Welcome to the program.
Greetings, Casey, Richard. Anyways, I got 2 points. One of them is the one at the God, I can't remember the one at the restaurant on Lincoln Way. Not Lincoln. McKinley. Excuse me, McKinley.
You're talking about Monterey?
Monterey. Is that
Yeah.
still open?
I have
That's
not.
what's going on.
Okay, let me just double check my email while I have you right here. I have not been given any kind of indication that we are not doing our events. Okay, so let me just double check my email so I don't tell you something that they sent me an email with while I was recording some stuff earlier today. Let's see. I don't have anything that says that it is canceled. Okay. So now that doesn't mean that it won't be. And as soon as
there won't be any,
right,
won't be any of the,
well, you're not gonna have the basketball games and everything else. Yeah.
Basketball games, yeah.
Right. Yeah. You won't have any March Madness stuff happening there. And I know that some people said, your commercial is still playing. Like, yep, but I haven't had a chance to re-record it or anything like that. So I know that yesterday they were discussing what may or may not happen with this stuff. So I have not been told that my events next week are canceled. Okay. As soon as I know, I will tell everybody on my social media and on the show. All right. As soon as I know anything, I will let you all know, because we've obviously got St. Patrick's Day at the Prime Table. We've got the sneak out that was happening at Monterey. Got another event that's happening as well. So there's a lot going on. March is traditionally very busy. Obviously it starts warming up and everybody wants to go ahead and start doing stuff again. And then it's also really big for charity too. So don't forget the charities, because usually March and April are huge charity drive months. And now everybody is going to be kind of suffering as a result of that.
All right. I think I'll call it good for today.
All right. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I know, I will let you all know, okay? Appreciate it. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. Jim, welcome to the program.
Hey, Casey, how you doing today?
Doing well. What's up?
Hey, I'll make this quick because I'm on my way to Costco to get a load of toilet paper. But hey,
good luck with that, by the way.
Did you happen to notice the stupidest question of the day at the press conference? Because it stuck out to me, and I'm always proud of those journalists who really are in depth in their questioning. The one asked the doctor, he goes, "So, are we going to do any kind of a study to find out why this virus is hitting the elderly and the sick
that guy
harder than other people?" And the doctor said, "Well, we don't need to study that. We already know that because they're elderly and sick."
Yeah, I think that was. I'm pretty sure that was the funny eyeglass guy who had the eyeglasses on his forehead and didn't stand up to ask his question that Joe and I were making fun of off camera, but. I think that was the guy that asked it. Well, and I think Fauci, you have to understand something. Dr. Fauci has been doing this for a very long time, and he's served multiple presidents through multiple issues. And I think that he is probably the most frustrated that he has ever been in his professional career, because he's nonpartisan. He's here about public health. And you have a ton of media people constantly politicizing his comments, taking it out of context to attack somebody that they don't like politically. And then they're asking him stupid politically charged questions or really dumb questions like, why are the elderly more susceptible to being sick? Because they're old. That's just how it is. So.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. That just floors me when they ask such intelligence questions. So, but hey, you're doing a great job. Thanks for the open line, and we'll keep listening. Thanks.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you much. Yeah, it's, look, I think the spokeswoman for the GOP, I think she made this point pretty clear. She's like, look, you have scientists, you have doctors, you have business leaders, and you've got political leaders sitting there willing to take questions from you. And you're asking the same dumb questions, superficial is what she said, over and over and over again. And they kept asking the same question. That's why I kind of brought it back before the questioning was done. And so we had heard the same question 3 times, just asked 3 different ways. I'm like, okay, we had, how many questions did we air from the reporters? 5 or 6? There was one that was good. The first one should have set the tone. Well, we should have known that it set the tone. The first question is, hey, the president of Brazil's got coronavirus, and you were like eating dinner with him and stuff. Shouldn't you be quarantined? I'm paraphrasing what she was saying. And the president had to remind her that he actually tested negative. He's out there denying that he tested positive for coronavirus, but we've had that story for 2-3 days? It's probably only been 1 day, but it seems like it's been 2 or 3 days. People have been running around saying that the president of Brazil was sick, was hanging out with our president, so our president must be sick. I do want to address one thing from one of the callers earlier about the president's breathing. I haven't seen anything about a breathing apparatus or anything like that. Somebody said they thought it was an SNL sketch, which wouldn't surprise me in today's day and age if somebody did confuse an SNL sketch with something that was real. But I will say that back in January of 2019, so over a year ago, they were putting together montages of Trump's breathing to make it seem like he was sick and dying. So they've consistently, over and over again, have made the case that Trump was sick, was unhealthy. Remember that whole unannounced or unplanned hospital stop that happened at Walter Reed? Turns out he had food poisoning and decided to go ahead and meet with some veterans who were there while he happened to be there. And the press for several days speculated that he had a heart attack and died. Turns out that never happened. And I just wanted to remind you that I've consistently told you, they run a conspiracy on him. When it runs out of any kind of legs, they move on to the next conspiracy, and then eventually they come back to those conspiracies and they recycle them. So they're doing that again with his breathing. He did seem tired. I mean, he absolutely seemed tired, but he's also been doing a whole lot. Now, the press is telling you that he's not doing anything, that he's just out there golfing, which is not true. And they're ignoring all of the stuff that he's doing, which is why you have so many people on my social media when I point out that Joe Biden basically gave Trump's speech, except he said that travel bans don't work, in spite of the fact that all of the experts, including Fauci, have said that the travel ban was a great idea. Fauci, by the way, was originally not supportive of it. And he said, look, traditionally we don't do travel bans when a pandemic situation is upon us. And then he eventually came around and goes, you know what? It was actually the right call because they didn't have the testing available. Not only did it prevent the spread, but we didn't have any way to test anybody. So we were going to get to a point where all of these people would be coming in from infected areas like China, and we were either going to be at, mercy of nature on whether or not this thing spread around, or everybody who came into the United States is going to have to self-quarantine for a couple of weeks. And at that time, we didn't even know if a couple of weeks was the incubation period. So it's a whole, Fauci came around. He originally wasn't a big fan of it, but he came around and said this was actually the right call because it bought us precious time to develop these kits, which is really necessary because remember the CDC screwed up on the first batch. So all of these people out there hearing Trump's, all of these suggestions coming from Democrats are all things that Trump has already done weeks ago. And they're pretending that they're brand new original ideas from Democratic politicians. And of course they're not. We got more open lines coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Well, I didn't get to talk about any damn thing that I wanted to talk about today. Good Lord. My God.
Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Extended forecast brought to you by the Prime Table Restaurant in Niles. Does your family or group meet regularly for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Just call the Prime Table to reserve tables for your next gathering.
Yeah, exactly, Al. They keep recycling Russian collusion over and over and over and over again.
Plenty of sunshine today at the height of 46 degrees, a bit breezy as well. For tonight, we drop down to 28
Yeah.
degrees. For Saturday,
Oh my God. PBS NewsHour certainly did embarrass themselves. Holy moly.
very southern counties. For Sunday, though, we're back to partly cloudy skies, a high of 46 degrees. For that Monday forecast, again, a mix of sun and clouds right around 48. For Tuesday, we are going to see temperatures reach...
In other news, an ex-Trump advisor says that the Brits did hint that they assisted Team Obama on the collusion probe. Just so you know.
Otherwise, it's back to that sunshine on Wednesday, and we'll hold on to some mild weather into the end of the work week. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Kennedy.
Get set to win great prizes for your home and property. Virtual Home, presented by Bike Greenhouses.
To enter for a chance to win one or all of our prizes, log on to 953mnc.com or text the word HOME to 45364.
Courtesy of Stay Green Tree Control, Horton's Laundry and Dry Cleaning, and Graber Customer Modeling.
To enter, text HOME to 45364. Message and data rates apply.
And good luck.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Your breaking news and weather station. Now it's time for the taste of craft beer. Chris's Craft Corner with Chris Turnblom.
Welcome to Chris's Craft Corner. Let's have a beer. Today, we are going to have a Contact Hazy IPA from Elysian Brewing Company. Now, Elysian Brewing Company, one of my favorites from the Seattle area, been around since 1996. You may have heard about their flagship beer in the past,
Michiana's
Space
news channel.
Dust.
Would you like to
Elysian is kind of going down that road of Sierra Nevada.
All right, your first name,
of
please.
being very specialized
All right,
with
okay,
hoppy
keep you on
beer
there.
and really knowing how to take the Pacific Northwest hop scene and IPA scene, but still innovating and expanding on it. And so this is their first
Oy
hazy
vey.
offering, Contact Haze, and after smelling it and taking a quick taste, what they kind of leave out that I think they may want to put on the label is that it's pretty tropical. Looking through some of the literature on the packaging, they talk about flavors like currant, raspberry, guava, and passion fruit. And I can say that this is definitely one of the first beers where I can pick out the scent of guava from the hop aroma. Very enjoyable. There's definitely no added fruit to enhance the tropical flavor. It is purely hops that you're getting because you still get kind of that strong Cascade hop flavor up front, but the finish is
That's where I'm at, Al. I'm just going to keep doing what I need to do. And, you know, I'm not going to go overboard. We may buy a couple more canned things, you know, just because. But, you know, we have food stores. We've got our supplies if we ever needed it, but I don't think that that is going to be the case. And then I also want to support the businesses that are staying open because they need something.
Bartenders about it. If you're not seeing it, you won't be disappointed. This has been Chris's Craft Corner. Thanks for sharing a beer with me. Now go share one with someone else.
Look at the craft beers Chris talks about and listen to Chris's
Shame on
Craft
you, Al.
Corner on MNC.
Hi, this is Dwayne Miller with Good Faith Management, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast and for a fair price, call me at 574-294-5678. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and in any location. I am not a realtor or associated with any realty company. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy even more. Call me at 574-294-5678. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant will pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because
Microsoft says Bill Gates is stepping down from the company's board.
condemned houses and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast,
I
call
don't know.
me at 574-294-5678 for a cash offer today. That's 574-294-5678.
Now is your chance to see and speak in person with companies in Michiana looking to hire. Federated Media invites you to the Michiana Career Fair presented by Foremost Transport and Quality Drive Away. Tuesday, April 14th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come dressed to impress with your resume in hand and ready to be hired by several different companies from around the area. Don't miss the Michiana Career Fair, April 14th from 2 to 6 at the Holiday Inn Express Conference Center on Douglas Road in Mishawaka. Find all the details at MichianaCareerFair.com.
The very latest as As we continue to track the spread of coronavirus and its wide-ranging effect on health and the economy, I'm Brooklyn Beatty.
Zimney, tune in first thing Monday on 95.3 MNC.
All right, a couple of things. One, I obviously have to address the stock market. We were talking about the stock market as we were airing the press conference on the live stream for everybody, but stock market, the largest jump in a single day in its history. It went up 1,985 points. That's 9.36%. As I've told you, it is going to continue to do that. You have got to calm yourselves down. Then you also have the press like kind of refusing to talk about that, which I also find to be extremely interesting. Don't forget that the pandemic White House team, that was an expansion of the NSC under President Obama. It was redundant and unnecessary. They already have those teams at the CDC and the National Institute for Health, so there wasn't a need for a redundant thing. We had already talked about that many, many times before there was even a pandemic threat, and it was one of those things that the president said he was going to do. He was going to eliminate redundancy. And he was going to go ahead and have the agencies that handle it, like the CDC handles infectious disease, have the CDC continue to handle that stuff. There didn't need to be any addition to the National Security Council for that. So the PBS NewsHour reporter made a complete buffoon of herself. But hey, it's PBS NewsHour, I guess. Anyway, 574-25-95-95-3. Back to the phone lines. Jim, welcome to the program. Hello. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, sorry, Jim. Joe, welcome to the program.
Yeah. Hi, Casey.
Hi there.
I just have a quick question about the test kits.
Yeah.
And I think this was some unfair criticism of the president. Let me run this by you. Let's say, for example, you have a test for HIV and it turns out non-reactive. Well, as long as you don't do anything risky, you're going to be safe. The one test is good.
Mm-hmm.
But with coronavirus, let's say I get tested and I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
3 hours later, I inadvertently run into somebody who
Correct.
has it, transmits it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I took the one test thinking, hey, I'm fine, but no, I'm really not.
Correct. Yeah, and
So
this
when
is
the Democrats like Chuck Schumer are talking about all these tests. It's like, well, Chuck,
Right.
baby, you didn't think about that one, did you?
Well, and you had the reporter too. Hey, well, we have tests to test every American next week, which is absurd. But the idea is, if you get tested and you're clear, if you run into somebody, like you said, Joe, if you run into somebody who is sick, well, now you've been exposed, and the test doesn't do any good. So just running around and testing everybody, we would have to be testing ourselves every day if we had any interaction with any person. It's not just a one-time hit. And that's why Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx were making it clear to everybody, and the president and the vice president as well. You only need to get tested if you have symptoms. This isn't for everybody to get tested. And that's
but the problem is the press. If you don't listen to a lot of things and read, the low information voter individual out there is going to see a snippet on the news to say, test well, the president, we don't have enough test kits. That's awful. You would need a gazillion test kits because you would have 320 million Americans tested every day for the next 2 months.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't mean much. And now that they've got possible cases where you did have it, now you can get it again. It's again like the cold. You get the cold, you get rid of it, you get better. Well, somebody can give it right back to you, and they think that the coronavirus is the same thing. So you're 100% correct. The idea is if you're sick, isolate. Stay home, wash your hands. Take care of yourself. Don't put anybody at risk, and then at that point, if you're showing the symptoms, you can start to get tested. So.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I would personally, out of pocket, pay for a senility test for Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Bernie Sanders.
There you go. All right. I appreciate it, Joe. Take care. And, for the record, I think that everybody in leadership should be tested, okay? I think this is pretty basic, and I think that the reporter, even though she framed it in a really stupid way, I think the reporter who asked if the president should be tested, I think she had a point. She just framed it dumb. Are you being selfish by not getting yourself tested? What kind of stupid question is that? Just say, hey, look, for peace of mind, if you consider getting your test since you haven't been tested yet and that sort of thing. The president answered. He said, I didn't say that I wasn't going to get tested. Probably will get tested, but the doctors that are surrounding me every single day say that it's not necessary because I have no symptoms. So why bother, Anyway, 574-25-95-95-3. I personally think that all leadership should be tested. Okay, that's just my personal thoughts on it. Robin, welcome to the program.
Hey,
Hi there.
Casey. Hey, I seen on the news this weekend and on the radio this morning all this big to-do about two horses that got hit in the road over in St. Joe County.
Okay.
And they're picking up car parts, looking for the car. And the way I see it, the news is kind of framing the driver as a villain. And the way I see it, it was a negligent horse owner that didn't have control of his animals that caused an accident.
Yeah, so the hit and run, because they're trying to find out who killed the horses, right? Because they're found on the side of the road. Let's see. I heard a big commotion, big crash. I looked out the window. Guy stopped, went down the road, came back, seen the headlights, something laying on the road, and it was two horses. Let's see. The owner of the horse, who lives just up the road, said that he is heartbroken, angry, and confused. He actually said the term horse bleep to the news. I feel bad that they got loose, and I hope that no one got injured. But see, this is the thing. They got loose, and, it's pretty terrible. But at the same time, if you hit an animal on the side of the road and it might be a pet and they don't have a collar, what are you supposed to do? Carry the corpse around door to door?
Yeah, well, swerving to miss an animal is more dangerous.
Way more
than
dangerous.
The animal.
Yeah.
And, if somebody had swerved to miss those horses, they might be dead hitting a tree or something.
Yeah, and
but I just was so surprised how the news framed the car driver or the driver as the villain.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's animals. We all have to love animals.
I know.
And that's fine, but they're horses. They got loose, and that happens, all right? Animals get loose despite your best intentions. I understand that. So the owner, Chuck Davis, who is, very upset about all of this, that's all right.
Yeah.
But again, it's, they may have jumped out in front of the person that was driving. Who knows?
Yeah,
now,
and,
if they intentionally
and last I
hit
looked-
them and we have camera footage that shows that, that's a different ballgame. But if this was a total accident, what is he supposed to do? Or are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to go door to door and ask whose horses?
I'm pretty sure at 4 a.m, those horses didn't have the reflectors on.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And I say all this as a horse owner.
Right. Yeah, it's it's sad. You don't want to see those animals get hurt, but I also don't want to see a human being get hurt. And at this point, stop treating it like it's some crime. It was an accident. As far as we know, it was an accident until there's evidence to the contrary.
Yeah, the whole hit and run persona is just ridiculous. But
yeah, I don't appreciate the hit and run bit of it too, because if you hit an animal and they don't have a collar, what are you supposed to do? It's not a hit and run. You move it to the side of the road and you go about your business, and it's horrible and it's tragic and it sucks, but there's not much you can do about it. So
yeah, well,
all right, man.
Thanks, Casey.
You bet. Appreciate it. Thank you for breaking up the coronavirus coverage too. We have more coming up. Looks like Bill Gates made a big announcement. We'll talk about that. 95.3 MNC.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, and 95.3 MNC.com.
I'm Tommy Lee in the MNC News Center, and among our top stories this Friday afternoon, Catholics in South Bend have been dispensed from their obligation to attend Sunday Mass.
Bishop Kevin C. Rhodes of the Catholic Diocese of Fort Wayne and South Bend issued a statement Friday afternoon saying the obligation has been lifted from March 15th through the 29th. He urges Catholics to refrain from shaking hands for the sign of peace, opting for non-physical contact, and also says that all are asked to refrain from holding hands during the Our Father if that's...
Don't hold hands, Joe!
Find a link to the diocese within this story at 953mnc.com.
Ooh, that's a good point. What if you get some nitrile gloves? That's what people should be buying. Some good old nitrile gloves, man.
Buy gloves and then not worry about touching
And it's
people.
official. Stores whose clerks sell cigarettes to minors will face tougher penalties in the Hoosier state. Indiana lawmakers finalized the bill doubling the fines for selling to underage buyers.
Well, and you can make the point comment that they maybe should have called somebody, but I don't know that many people know that.
Federal smoking and vaping age of
All right, I'll try to get you on there.
You can find the latest on these stories and more online.
The car is messed up. The car is jacked up, Truth. They found a bunch of car parts and things like that they're looking to hopefully identify. Now, this is the real thing is, did the person who hit them with the vehicle, did they report it to insurance and that sort of thing? Maybe they did. They just didn't do it the right way. Who knows?
The action I am taking will open up access to up to $50 billion of money for states and territories and localities in our shared fight against this disease.
This coming after all travel from Europe is suspended for 30 days. Vice President Mike Pence confirms tests can be done starting today.
The president made it possible for every state in the country and their state labs to authorize labs across their state to do coronavirus testing. We're estimating somewhere between 15 and 20,000 tests a day are able to be performed.
There are now at least 41 confirmed coronavirus deaths in the U.S. New authority has been given to Secretary of Health and Human Services Alex Azar to do what is necessary. America's listening to Fox News.
Weather served up by the Prime Table in
Newsbusters. Buttigieg bombs as fill-in host for Jimmy Kimmel. I forgot all about it. Was that this week?
I didn't think it was this week. I guess it was.
Oh my God.
Increasing clouds this evening and overnight. Temperatures fall to a low of 30, and there's really no warm-up on Saturday.
It happened yesterday.
We'll top out with a high around 40.
Slate Magazine says, it turns out Mayor Pete is a pretty good talk show host. Washington Post, Buttigieg charms his way to another good grade while guest hosting Kimmel's show. The New York Times, Pete Buttigieg hosts Jimmy Kimmel Live without an audience. So, his monologue is 12 minutes.
News on Wall Street with the Dow falling nearly 10% for its worst day since the 1987 crash, with the S&P 500 and Nasdaq joining the Dow in bear market territory. The deep declines occurring despite a
What a lame joke.
intervention in short-term funding for markets by the Federal Reserve. The Dow falling 2,352 points, the Nasdaq down 750, S&P 500 down 261. And the coronavirus causing one industry to see a huge
Well, it's convenient. If you cancel the audience, nobody can be quiet while you tell bad jokes, I guess.
to contain the coronavirus. The online jobs marketplace ZipRecruiter says help wanted ads for cleaners are on track to soar 75% in March compared to a year earlier. Postings for work at hospitals and other healthcare jobs have also risen, though not as rapidly. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Bree Barsky, invested in you.
Turn off your feed.
smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter.
Had to make
for
sure that I was
free.
still
That's
good
right,
to do the
free
Prime
at
Table remote for St. Patrick's Day, which of course I told them I was. So right now, the St. Patrick's Day remote is on. So Tuesday in the morning and in the afternoon it's on.
Buying that car.
What?
Having a child. Getting away from the rat race, if only for a little while. Now you can add another
You have to
decision
watch it.
to that list. Moving to a Trilogy Senior Living Community. When you make the move to a Trilogy Senior Living Community, you'll feel good about your decision. We guarantee it. Visit trilogyhs.com to find a community near you.
MyDealsMichiana.com is the best place to find the best deals
Oh,
in the
boy.
Michiana area. Right now, you can get half-off certificates for restaurants like Cottage and Pizza, Jim's Smokin' Cafe, Smith's Downtown, and Jimmy's Pizza and Ribs. You can also save with offers from Chippewa Bowl, Go Style Brewery.
By the way, a CNN reporter just called it the Wuhan virus again.
New offers are being added all the time, so don't
They
miss out.
just,
Visit
they don't know what they're doing.
See how much you can save on the businesses you already love. That's MyDealsMichiana.com.
All right, here we go.
Final Phase Electric Studios. From the first step to the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. This is Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Once again, I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. I would like to thank our sponsors, R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. And real quick, we had the boss come in, wanted to talk, asked me to turn the stream off, which usually means he's about to yell at me. So I was like, what did I do wrong today? Anyway, he asked if I was still okay doing the St. Patrick's Day event at Prime Table, because we're going to be out there in the morning for Prime Table. We do this every St. Patrick's Day, and then I will be broadcasting my show at the Prime Table in the afternoon. They asked if I was okay with doing it, and I said yes. So I want you all to know, as of now, the St. Patrick's Day festivities at the Prime Table Restaurant on 11th Street in Niles with yours truly, both in the morning from 6 to 9 and the afternoon from 3 to 6, are a go. All right. Now, if that changes, we will certainly let you know. But right now, they are a go, and we are doing those events. All right. 574-25-95-95-3. Derek, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Oh, how you doing, Casey?
Doing well. What's up?
All right, I can still got music playing in the background.
He's turning it off right now.
Okay. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Did you hear about this lady from Guatemala falling off the wall near El Paso, Texas this morning?
No, I did not.
Supposedly there's a 19-year-old female that was climbing the wall. I guess they were climbing the 20-foot wall, not the 30-foot wall.
Okay.
And she fell down and killed herself. She got dropped off by coyotes, or there was a guy with her, which I think was with her.
Mm-hmm.
The kicker is that she was 8 months pregnant.
Okay.
And died.
It's terrible.
Yes, and I'm just waiting for the media to start running with it and say that Trump's wall killed mother and child.
They might. Yeah, they very well might. I guess everybody. I forgot that Buttigieg was hosting Kimmel. Like we just, the audience just had to remind me on the live stream that Buttigieg is like listening to little snippets of it here in the commercial break. So everything's just been absorbed with this other coverage. So I did miss that, but it will. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all, man. I wouldn't. So I appreciate the
I was
tip.
just shocked this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you much. I'll look for it. And again, you never know what the coverage is going to be like over the weekend or next week. All right, folks, we got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Breaking news and weather station.
Oi.
Served up by the Prime Table in Niles. 26 years of exceptional food, tremendous
It's a
service, and great
mess.
people. Visit Prime Table today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Now, your
Everything's a
local
mess.
specialist 5-day forecast.
No weather worries. It's chilly on Saturday and cloudy with a high around 40 degrees, but the skies will clear Sunday. Mostly sunny with a high of 45. The skies
Usually I am getting yelled at when we have to turn the camera off. Usually that's what is happening.
mostly sunny with a high around 50, and we may get warmer by the end of next week. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Coon.
I probably did, John. I mean, I got butchered last year with that thing that I got. It was terrible. You know, and here's the thing. It's yes, there's the public health aspect of doing an event, but there's also, what if the client is paying you money to do the event and then nobody shows up, and it's nobody's fault. It's just that people want to stay home and they don't want to do an event like that. So, you know, and then it is what it is. But the Prime Table wants to keep doing it, and we're gonna do it. They're paying us. I'm healthy. I don't have any issues. If that changes, I will let everybody know. And I also want to make sure that businesses who are choosing to continue to operate, you know, that they have income coming in, because they've got to pay their people too. You know, if a business shuts down, their employees aren't getting paid. The business isn't making money. It's awful all the way around. Any word on a new chair? No word on a new chair. He said that I would have to ask him for one if I really needed it, and I haven't asked him for one. I did tell him that this chair was broken, and he said he would talk to the engineer about it.
And affordable building solutions through their high-quality components. So if you want your new construction project to tell others you are about excellence, visit workholderbuildings.com.
Fair point, Alex. The media can't cover that one. They would have to admit that an 8-month-old baby in a mother's body is a bad thing.
Health partner providing comprehensive dental services. Today, we're taking listener calls to answer your dental questions.
Al left a tweet to darken the window behind me. Good. We've been talking about it long enough, I think.
Absolutely. Caller, your story is something we hear almost every day. At Afdent, you won't be judged. We're here to listen and provide the right dental solution to meet your needs.
But I'm worried about the cost. Does Afdent have payment plans?
I can't take any calls here. I got to wrap this up.
You can schedule a free consultation to discuss dental solutions and comfortable financial options. We'll do everything possible to ensure you get exceptional care and detailed explanations. That's all the time we have today. If you have questions about dental financing, absolutely call Afdent at 277-2220.
They don't really do solar screens here, though. When I try to explain what a solar screen is, John's the only one that even knows what I'm talking about.
Exclusively on News Talk 95.3 Michiana's.
Okay, I'll
Our breaking news and weather station.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Okay, I got some house clearing to do at the end of the show. The Ohio governor made an alarming claim about the number of coronavirus cases that were happening. They said on Friday, today, that 100,000 residents in the state could be walking around with coronavirus. Now, the health official who came up with that number and passed it on to the governor, who passed it on to everybody else, who, of course, freaked everybody out, said that she was just guesstimating based on absolutely no information whatsoever. Wow. Thanks a lot, Dr. Amy Acton, the director of the Ohio Department of Health, who had absolutely no information and had to clarify that today. So way to fearmonger. Appreciate that. Then we have Nancy Pelosi took advantage of the bill. I promised I would talk about this. Took advantage of the aid package for coronavirus to try and slip in additional pieces of legislation, which is shameful. But again, never let a good crisis go to waste, right? Officials told the outlet, the Daily Caller News Foundation, during negotiations, Pelosi lobbied for several partisan provisions that made the bill untenable. She wanted as much as $1 billion for reimbursement of laboratory claims, which officials said would set a precedent of health spending without protections outlined in the Hyde Amendment. And the Hyde Amendment, by the way, stops federal funding from going to clinics that perform abortions and things like that. So she made the coronavirus aid package about abortion, for crying out loud. But again, hyper-partisan, that's just how it goes. The Trump administration has fast-tracked private COVID-19 test approvals. This is critical. By the way, this is how South Korea got these tests out there. You got a bunch of socialists telling you that the single-payer system in South Korea is why they were able to recover so quickly. No, they actually allowed a private company. They cut all of the red tape that company would normally have to go through temporarily and they let a private company get those testing kits mass-produced in record time without the government impeding. That's what ended up getting the testing out for South Korea, which is being completely ignored. I got this email during the show today, Casey. The news is ticking me off. Keep hearing news, which about the Mueller press conference, not press conference, but a public meeting yesterday, saying that somebody asked what the evidence was that was used to exonerate the police officer in the Logan shooting. Isn't it up to the prosecutors to find evidence proving guilt? Yes. They said it's ticking them off. You're 100% right. You're absolutely right. You are innocent until proven guilty. There is no evidence to prove that the officer is innocent. We have all of the evidence that Logan was armed with a knife and was burglarizing cars. Okay, so we have that evidence there. There is no evidence suggesting that the officer did anything wrong. That's the point. And saying that you have to have evidence proving the officer's guilt is not how our legal system works. It is completely backwards. So I appreciate that email. Wanted you to know that I got that. You're 100% correct. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hey, don't go insane. Have a fun weekend. Do what you can to go ahead and keep yourself and your family safe. As I said, the latest is that we will continue our St. Patrick's Day event over at the Prime Table Restaurant, both in the morning and the afternoon. So that'll be Tuesday next week. You have a wonderful weekend. It's time for Bill O'Reilly and the O'Reilly Update.
Bill O'Reilly here, Friday, March 13th, 2000.
Okay, holy crap. I'm so done with today. Jesus.
Let's look at the big
Whole day started off bad. Just
Democrats
terrible.
in the United States have now voted in 24 different states, allocating about half the delegates.
All right, I gotta get all this stuff.
The Democratic convention.
Log out.
The current tally has Joe Biden in the
Didn't get a chance to read my doctor's thing today. God dang. I forgot so much today. Holy moly. Well, yeah, trying to get to stuff that I wasn't able to get to and then forgetting to do it. Yeah, that. So technically I didn't forget, but Casey, did you want to do what I asked? Okay, Daniel, let's chat about it over the weekend, and let's come up with a game plan there, because I haven't had a chance to look at your response, okay? And maybe we'll do it next week. Maybe it's something that we could possibly do prime table-wise or something. I don't know. Let's go ahead and I'll look at it this weekend, and we'll see what we can come up with, okay? I promise I'll reach out to you. Let's see. That way we're not rushing anything, and we have something in place to do it. All right. You all have a nice weekend, too. Yeah, I think I might have some whiskey tonight. I think I might very well have some. I could use it, that's for sure. What in the hell is... I don't even want to know. Don't even want to know what's happening on TV right now. All right.
Joe Biden was sworn into office by the
Thank you, Happy. You too. You too. Unless, of course, you're buying a Corona to try and save the company from going under.
He would commute 90 minutes each way between Delaware and Washington.
All right. Anything else before I bounce on out of here? Because honestly, I want to go home early. I'm just being straight up. I am ready to go home. Not that I don't love you all, but wow.
In 2015, his son Bo died
what a week.
at the age of 46, following a prolonged battle with brain. Joe Biden now gets a chance.
All right. So, hopefully some of you learned that you have to subscribe to my other platforms as well, just in case something happens with the live stream. Because we had a glitch with YouTube earlier. So if you could, please subscribe on both YouTube / Casey the Host and also twitch.tv / Casey the Host. And then if you also are on Twitter, you can subscribe to me on Periscope, which is Twitter's streaming platform, and that's at RealCaseyH. Okay, you can do that. And then you should be on my Facebook page anyway, which is my most popular social media platform by far, at Casey the Host. The new Instagram, at Casey the Host. everything's at Casey the host, except for the new Twitter account, because the old Twitter account I was obviously banned. So that's real KCH. So everywhere on social media is at Casey the host, except for Twitter, which is real KCH. That's where you need to take it. But make sure on all the streaming platforms, share, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. I really do appreciate the support. I know that a lot of you have done a whole bunch for me, especially my mods and my admins. I can't say enough about them and what they've been doing. If anybody wants an invite to Discord, if you haven't joined the Discord server yet, hit one of us up. Alex, myself, will be happy to go ahead and get that for you. And we kind of do it on a more limited basis now, just because occasionally we get people that kind of pop on there. It gets infected sometimes with trolls, so we do our best to kind of limit access to that. But I also want it to grow. I don't want to just keep it the same people, you know, so there's going to have to be times where we kind of open things up. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful, safe weekend. For those of you who are self-isolating, I wish you the absolute best, and let us know if we can do anything for you. Y'all take care. Absolutely appreciate the support, and have a wonderful weekend. We will talk at you on Monday.